Welcome back. We all know that Chicago is home to the world's greatest architecture, of course, and this weekend you get to see some of it up close for free as part of the annual Chicago Open House. And our next guest has some really underappreciated buildings in the neighborhoods he says everyone needs to get out and see. And I am speaking, of course, with Lee Bay, the great architecture critic at the Chicago Sun-Times. Good to see you, Lee.
Good to see you too, Paris.
Tell us about Chicago Open House and, first of all, I guess the main attraction, what people can go and see this weekend.
Well, you know, Open House Chicago, put on every year by the Chicago Architecture Center, and it gives you a chance to see the insides of buildings that you probably wouldn't otherwise, ordinarily see. And we take architecture seriously in Chicago, so it's a big thing.
You go to the Rookery, the Monadnock building, you go see those beautiful lobbies.
You can.
All right, so you've got five buildings, though, that maybe you overlooked that you think everyone should go and see. So let's start with the number one, the Hilliard Towers on South State Street, which was a public housing project here. Tell us about this one.
This is a great building, built in 1966, designed by Bertrand Goldberg, the architect who gave us Marina City. And this was built as public housing originally. And what made it so revolutionary is it wasn't the sort of similar, stark brick high-rise that we have grown accustomed to when we think of public housing. So when the plan for transformation came that demolished much of those buildings, many of those buildings, this one stayed. Beautiful views, curved concrete face, had an amphitheater and all kinds of amenities in it. They really did a good job. Bertrand Goldberg, the architect, really did a good job.
Yeah, you can see that Bertrand Goldberg design. River City, I think, is his, and Marina City, of course. Okay, number two in the auditorium building. We all know about the Auditorium Theater, the great, what is that, Louis Sullivan design. But there's another room in that building that doesn't get the same recognition, Gans Hall.
Yeah, this is a beautiful building, a beautiful room on the 7th floor. You can see there, stained glass, metal chandeliers, beautiful seating, designed by Adler and Sullivan, of course, but also Miller and Fleury and Miller, the stained glass masters, and a young Frank Lloyd Wright. So it's probably the only place in America, maybe one other place, where you can see all that talent concentrated in one room. So it's a rehearsal hall. We don't get a chance to see it that much, but we'll get a chance to see it.
So a young developing Frank Lloyd Wright,
yes,
right, before he became Frank Lloyd
exactly.
Wright.
He's early in his career, right.
He was studying under Sullivan, and that's fascinating. Okay, number three, I had never heard of this one, the Japanese American Service Committee, which is up about 5700 North Lincoln. What do you like about this building?
This is a great little building. This, as you can probably tell, this was a former bank building, either U.S. Bank or Bank of America, one or the other, and closes up. And the Japanese community takes this building and converts it into a community center. So there's all kinds of services that are provided here. What's good about this, and why I'm glad it's on the list, is that the best of Chicago architecture solves the problem. And this is one. What do you do? Because we're going to have a city full of banks like this, branch banks, because who goes to a bank anymore inside? What do you do with them? So these single-use buildings, banks, retail stores, things like that. What do you do?
How do you repurpose them?
Exactly. And here's a way to make it happen. You give it a community-based use.
I love that about architecture. So like at the end of the day, it's problem solving. And that's where you get some of the great designs. All right, the National Public Housing Museum, I've been here. This is over in North Lawndale, and this is really historic because Martin Luther King, didn't he live here when he was in Chicago, or didn't he stay here?
Well, he lived in North Lawndale, a little further to the south and to the west. This is sort of like this is like Little Italy, just about here.
And it's a museum now, and it's got all these great pictures of, a history of public housing in Chicago. But what do you like about the building?
Well, it repurposes a building, which is great, that otherwise may have been torn down, but it also tells the story of public housing residents that lived there throughout the year, the Italian and white residents at first, African-American residents that came along later. And it makes a political statement that I like, which is housing is a human right. So it isn't just, a tribute to the past, it's a message for the future, which is housing is a human right. So how do we get it, for everyone? So how do we make it happen?
That's a great institution there. Okay, then number five, the Aspire Center for Workforce Innovation. You really like the interior of this building.
I do.
And this is in Austin, correct?
This is, exactly, in Austin. This is one of the 50 schools or so that closed under Rahm Emanuel, and we're left with this. So what do you do? It's like the bank building, and what do you do with these buildings? So here's another example. The Lamar Johnson Collaborative, an architecture firm, did this put this great glass entrance on it. And so it's a community center. So it's all kinds of space and workforce development happening there, and shows what can happen with these schools if you get the right action behind them.
So it sounds like you're really encouraging people to get out of the loop and get into the neighborhoods. I mean, you can see all the hits in the loop, but then get out to the north side, west side, south side.
Exactly. No, that's where it really shines. I think any city, although we do it better than any other city, can put the quality buildings downtown. It's like you can bring out the fine china for when company comes. But what do you do in the neighborhoods and how to, and architecturally? And we do very well there. And I think that this, I think Open House Chicago gives us a chance to see exactly that.
And I know you wrote a big book on the great architecture of the South Side, some of the hidden gems on the South Side. What other spots do you recommend people not miss this weekend?
Oh God, there's so many.
Too many to hit in one weekend.
That's right. I think any adaptive reuse building, and I'm struggling to think of another one other than the ones I presented, is good. Where a building is adaptively reused is good. Church buildings are good. One that's on the list, but they're not going to be. It's not going to happen, which is a shame, is Morning Star Baptist Church in Bronzeville. Beautiful church that was designed, converted into a church, and then restored in the 60s. But things like that are great.
All right, Lee, that's this weekend, the Open House Chicago. And we are out of time. We're back Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. And thanks to Lee Bay for being here.